Alright, I already talked a bit about the hivers. The Tarkas are your basic lizard monkeys. They come from a planet where the dinosaur era never ended, and they're probably inspired, at least in part, by my childhood love of Land of the Lost by David Gerald. Slee stacks. Except, of course, Tarkas are fast and agile and cool and funky and have emotions and lots of other things that most of the lizard men in science fiction do not. They're very much like us. They're arboreal primates. They just come from a planet where everything still has a lot of reptile traits because they never got smoked by an asteroid. In general, they're a very passionate species but very conservative. And that is reflected somewhat in their military culture. So when you're playing ground pounders, you'll find that the three alien races that are... the three races, only two of which are really alien, I suppose, that are represented in the game, each have a sort of a different military doctrine, and that is reflected to some degree in how they fight. Humans tend to be very objective-oriented. So a human commander, ultimately, at the end of the day, his highest priority is to get the job done. And he'll throw whatever he's got at the breach until he gets the job done. Or, you know, defends whatever bridge he's set to die on. By contrast, a Hiver commander is probably, at the end of the day, has a more defensive mentality. He tends to think of all of his soldiers as family. He wants to limit loss of life. So he tends to be very conservative. He tends to cluster his forces. He likes to maintain overwhelming force, that sort of thing. And if you do break his lines, he's going to fall on you, try to wipe you out before you can kill anybody he knows. Tarkas are interesting in that, ultimately, at the end of the day, the Tarkas commander's highest priority is probably glory. He wants to break the lines. He wants to seek targets of opportunity. He wants to win the day, and he may take an unconventional approach to achieve that objective. You can give him orders, and he will take them under advisement, and then he'll do what he thinks is best to cover himself with glory at the time. Sometimes that leads to interesting situations. It tends to be somewhat encouraged by the High Command in the sense that you give them orders, they do something else that's successful, and ultimately what goes upstairs is, we meant to do that. And that's kind of the Tarka way of life.